Hi, I'm Anthony Darvanese and I'm going to give you a quick walk around of the new Deutz-Fahr 6215 RC shift tractor. Okay, we're going to start a walk around of our 6 Series RC shift tractor. We're going to move to the back of the tractor where we're going to explain the 3-point linkage area. Here we can see we have 4 sets of rear remotes. These are all colour coordinated and are arranged nicely inside the cabin to tell the operator which hose is got in which connection, determining on his implement. If we go up, we can see we have a power beyond and load sensing connection. Red is the power beyond outlet and the black connection here is our load sensing. We also have 2 blue couplers, and they are for a free flow dump and a high flow dump. Moving down from our 3-point linkage station, we can see we have a 6-spline PDO shaft as standard, and equipped in this tractor is a 4-speed PDO which gives us 540 economy, 1000 and 1000 economy. The stub shaft can be changed to a 21 spline 1 3/8 or a 20 spline 1 3/4. We also have a rear swinging drawbar where we can alter our length, as there's different holes located underneath the rear diff. Our 3-point linkage area is we have quick hitch linkage, external lift control, which is done by 2 auxiliary rear rams. Here the ram we can see here is quite big in size, and it's got a high lift capacity of 9.2 tonne. While we're at the rear of the tractor, I'd like to point out the cab suspension, and this is underneath this flap here. And what we can see here is a stabilizer arm, and in front of that is your shock and spring, and this gives us cab movement where it gives the operator a smooth ride inside the cab when travelling over those rough fields. If we move up to the rear guard of the tractor, we see numerous buttons on the rear guard, and this is the same on the other side as well. Here we can see the blue colour, which is for it to control our rear remotes, and this is for 1 set. Our green is to control our 3-point linkage, and yellow is to control our PTO. And you also notice the highly sculpted bonnet that is slopes down forward to give us optimum vision within the cab. We have a lot of lights on the front, as we can see here. It'll light up the night sky and turn it into day when we're working at night time. If we continue on, what is new on this tractor as well is the new front suspension. They've totally changed the front suspension compared to old Deutz-Fahr models. So now the swing point is now at the front compared to where it was at the rear. So this enables us to use the front suspension in field mode as well as road mode, and gives us optimum ride. We can turn this suspension off where those rams will decrease if we don't want the suspension on. So some conditions you might want that is if you had a front end loader fitted. Okay, we now have the hood open of the new 6 Series tractor, and as you can see straight away is how easy everything is to get to. So first of all, I'm going to explain how the cooling package works and what the radiators do and so forth like that. So to get to our main engine air filter, it's quite easy to do. We have a handled position here. This handle's on our 6215. The 6165 is a little bit different shape, but it gives us the same feeling. So with the movement of that handle, what that does is moves it away from the air conditioner condenser. I'd like to go through what each radiator pack does here on the front. So the first pack here, what we do here, so this one here is for our air conditioner condenser. If we move down, we can see our fuel cooler. What the fuel cooler does, as the diesel recirculates and doesn't get used from the engine, it recirculates back to tank. So before it goes back into the engine again, it goes through this cooler first to keep the fuel at an optimum temperature, so you get the best explosion rates when it does go back through the engine. So it gives us the best fuel efficiency. Here we can see this package here. This is our intercooler. We have a transmission cooler, which is the one below, which is positioned below, and then behind all of that is our main radiator. Now to get to all this package here, what we do with one simple flick, we have access to clean all our radiator packs out. So that's quite easy to get to. On this side of the engine, our dipstick is located. So this is our dipstick and our engine oil filler point. And to the other side of the engine, which we'll just do a quick walk back to the other side. And behind these covers, we'll see our engine oil filter, which is in the canister. We move down, we have a pre-filter for our fuel, with also a primer. So if you were to run out of diesel, you can bleed it quite easily with a manual primer. Now as we enter the tractor cabin, I'd like to just explain a couple of features on this side of the tractor here that we can see. Here we have our easy to get to fuel tank with large capacities to get us through a full day's work. We also have an isolator switch which is underneath that cover there, flick on and off. And probably the main feature of the new 6 Series RC Shift and all our 6, 7 and 9 Series tractors is the new detached cab from hood layout. What this does, it barriers the engine from the cabin, and what it means, it will reduce the noise levels from the operator inside the cab quite significantly. So tests have been done where it will reduce the noise levels from up to 5% from previous models. So we have a low decibel rating with inside the cab. Other improvements from the cabin as well, as you can see, air filters are easy to get to, easy to access, but also within our door, easy to reach, handle, and also the ergonomics from getting inside the tractor cab with grips to pull us up inside to the cab. Okay, we're now looking at the new armrest control fitted to our new 6 Series RC Shift tractor. Here we can see that everything is all coloured, coordinated, with orange being for our driving, so any orange buttons you can see or controls is for our driving of our tractor. Yellow is for our PTO. We'll see blue here, and that's for our auxiliary remotes, and then green is for our 3-point linkage. So we can see how everything is easy and logically laid out. Now if I take you to our new lever, our joystick lever fitted to our armrest, here we can see that our palm of our hand fits nicely, so it's very ergonomic to control, and everything's operated via our thumb. So basically, green to raise and lower my linkage. We can go forward and reverse via the joystick, or even by the forward reverse lever located next to the steering wheel. We have a vehicle speed cruise control, a declutch button where it simulates like putting our foot on the clutch pedal. This here is our comfort tip controls, so this is where we can set up our headland management systems. Blue is our remote, so we got 1 set, 2 set, and then our on our joystick here we could got 3 and 4. If we move down closer, we can see that we've got a hand throttle here, so this is where we can control our engine speed, and we've got 2 presets here where we can control 2 engine vehicle speeds. So I can set it at 1000 RPM or 1800 RPM. We have a neutral button, and then basically with these selection of buttons, diff lock, 4-wheel drive and ASM, and what ASM means is axle system management, and this is where it will disengage and engage your diff lock or 4-wheel drive automatically depending on vehicle speed and wheel angle of your steering. Here we have a couple of dials here with an eco and power dial here, and this is to control for our transmission parameters, so we've got full control when it gear shifts up or down depending on load. These 2 black buttons control our Info Center Pro in the middle of our dash, and then our position control for our linkage. Underneath the armrest we have more control dials and so forth, but it's very easy and logical to use. Draft control, radar with our wheel slip. We have an up and down position, how high we want it to lift, and how fast we want our radar linkage to drop. Here we can also control our timer control for our remotes, as well as our flow. Front suspension button to activate up and down, and more importantly our APS button, which is our automatic power shift. So this will change our modes on our RC Shift transmission. So watch the RC Shift transmission video, and that will go through our driving modes. If we move away from the armrest to the back of the cab, we can see we have more yellow controls, again controlling our PTO. So this first one here controls whether we've got it in normal or economy range of our PTO. And then the second lever here controls 540 or 1000. So we've got our 4-speed PTO. Green button, if we're hooking up an implement from the back, this simulates the buttons from the rear fender, and what this does, it lowers the linkage at a lower speed than using our armrest control. We have a Euro plug here. We have an ISO 117086 plug. So basically you can control your FERC spreaders and so forth like that through this plug here, and a 12 volt, etc. So in front of us we've got our new InfoCenter Pro dash. Here we've got analog information as well. We also, moving away from the dash, we can see here we have our forward reverse lever located near our steering wheel, and a little black scroll dial here, and you can see on the dash how it's changing the parameters. Here we can see we're in S1, S2, medium, H1 and H2. So what this is doing, you can control how aggressive you want your forward and reverse shuttle movements, and this is great for loader work. Thank you for listening through this presentation of the new 6 Series RC Shift tractor. For more information, consult your local Deutz-Fahr dealer, or visit our webpage www.deutztractors.com.au.